Welcome to the iSchool's fourth virtual convocation ceremony. I am Dr. Sandy Hirsch, and it is my privilege to serve as professor and director of the School of Information. Today represents the culmination of all of your hard work, and I am extremely proud of each and every one of you. Today we are gathered for a convocation, which is a calling together. I am joined today by graduating student speaker Felicity Murphy and our invited convocation speaker Neal. I am delighted to have them be part of this special ceremony. We will end today's convocation with a special video dedicated to our graduates and prepared by our student leaders. We are here today to celebrate your achievements, which you accomplished with the love and support of dear family, friends, and colleagues. Many of you thanked your parents, siblings, spouses, partners, and children, and even your pets on your graduate profile page of the virtual convocation website. It was heartwarming to read your posts. I hope that those special to you have joined this session to celebrate with you today, and family and friends who are online, please do post a congratulatory message on your graduates page after this ceremony. You can also hear each graduate's name read out with their degree and on the virtual convocation website. You will find the recordings of the speeches from this convocation on the virtual convocation website within the next couple of days. This is the school's 49th convocation since we first achieved accreditation. Our mission is to educate information professionals who are highly competent in virtual and physical environments and who contribute to the well-being of our global communities. There is so much to celebrate as a school. This year, we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of our Master's in Archives and Records Administration, our MARA degree, and also of our Gateway PhD program. 17 of our MARA alumni were also awarded either the Certified Record Analyst or the Certified Records Manager designation through the Institute of Certified Records Managers as a result of a unique collaboration with our school that began last spring in 2017. In addition to the MARA degree and the Gateway PhD program, we also offer our nationally ranked and accredited LIS degree, the Teacher Librarian Credential, a Postmaster's Certificate in Library and Information Science, and a Digital Assets and Services Certificate. This is the second year that we have graduates who have earned the MLIS or MARA degree, as well as the Advanced Certificate in Digital Assets and Services, which they received at the same time. Today, we honor our graduates from all of these programs. We are celebrating the achievements of 570 students who are graduating today. Since all of our programs are delivered online, we have students from nearly all 50 states and from 10 countries. We are grateful they have entrusted their education to us. Our graduates today represent a good cross-section of the overall student body, with graduates from all over the United States and several countries, including Canada, Italy, the Netherlands, and Switzerland. And I saw in the chat before this that we have some representatives from those various countries attending today. It's very nice. Our graduates frequently commented on their graduation profiles that they enjoyed having the opportunity to meet people from all over the world in their classes. While some students commented that this geographic diversity made their group projects more challenging, graduates felt, as expressed by one student, that the benefits of gaining perspectives from outside of your area far outweighed any inconvenience or difficulty. Another student discussed how learning with students from all around the world helped her develop fantastic communication skills that are crucial in this digital age. The diversity of perspectives present in our online programs is also a unique benefit for our students. A graduate explained that she appreciated being able to connect with so many people from different backgrounds and with different goals and levels of experience. Every connection was a learning experience for me. It is gratifying to see how well prepared our graduates are to serve our global communities. Graduates also shared some of the things that they liked best about online learning and their experience in the program. Graduates shared that they liked being able to do all of my schoolwork and attend classes in the comfort of my home, sometimes wearing my PJs. Another student said that they liked the flexibility in scheduling my work, learning new technologies, and being able to watch lectures on my couch. Another student said that they appreciated that everything I learned was applicable to my career. And another one said that learning from professors from all over the United States and Canada who bring a wealth of experience and information to their classes was really appreciated. And another said that portfolio, believe it or not, I learned a lot about myself through the reflective writing. Another student said the tremendous amount of technology skills I gained as a result that will be extremely useful in my future was appreciated. And another student liked getting to learn about so many varied topics, from Drupal to online searching to children's literature. I'm a better librarian having taken such a wide array of classes. I also appreciated our graduates' honesty in their comments about what they're looking forward to next now that they've completed the program. I am sure you can relate to the comments that they were looking forward to having my weekends back, or to sleeping, or watching Netflix, or earning more money and traveling the world. I hope you will visit our virtual convocation website and peruse their graduate profiles. We offer our students a broad range of courses, enabling them to design their curriculum to best meet their needs and interests. As an example, our courses range from the study of early manuscripts and books to the management and curation of digital assets. We offer many outstanding opportunities for students to get involved in the school, such as serving on the editorial board of our student research journal, helping other students as peer mentors, and participating in award-winning student chapters of our professional associations. Our school also offers many ways to engage with other information professionals and to keep current, such as our highly successful virtual Library 2.0 conferences. As new alumni, it is my hope that you will participate in the upcoming Library 2.0 mini conferences on June 7th, focused on blockchain applied, the impact on information profession, and also on October 17th, which is focused on social crisis management in a 21st century world. These are great ways to build your professional connections, share your knowledge with others, and continue your lifelong learning. Our open classes program enables professionals to take just a single class or two in our program without being matriculated students. These are all excellent ways that you can contribute and continue your professional development and your connection with the school after you graduate. We also offer free online webinars featuring experts in the field on a variety of relevant topics, including career guidance. We are very fortunate to have exceptional award-winning faculty, students, and alumni who are influencing the future of the information profession. Just to mention a couple of highlights, this year, one of our alumni was selected for the American Library Association's coveted I Love My Librarian Award, and two of our alumni were selected as Library Journal's Movers and Shakers. 7 of our students were selected as 2017-18 ALA Spectrum Scholars. One of our students, E.K. Williams, was selected to receive the inaugural Innovative Librarians Award. And I would also like to recognize the 5 exceptional students who were selected to receive a Director's Award for Excellence for their outstanding efforts during their graduate program. Tanya Ewell received the Intellectual Inquiry Award. Karina Langstrut received the Diversity Inclusion Award. Mary Beth Romo, who is joining us from Switzerland, received the International Contribution Award. Kate Spalding won the Innovation Award, and James Tyner received the Building Community Award. Additionally, this year, one of our students, Kiri Wagstaff, not only received the Outstanding Thesis Award from our school, but Kiri also received the CASA Outstanding Thesis Award from our college. I would like to now acknowledge our faculty who are joining us today and our staff who worked hard to ensure that everything runs smoothly in the school. We all work to support you in your education and as you enter the professional world. As San Jose State graduates, you bear responsibility today and tomorrow for demonstrating the impact that librarians and information professionals have on the well-being of their communities. whether in college and university environments, government environments, school environments, public library environments, or corporate environments. Congratulations to you all. You've done it. You should be extremely proud of your accomplishments. We certainly are. So each year, the faculty invites a student who best exhibits the most exceptional professional promise for leadership to address the convocation. This student receives the Ken Haycock Award for Exceptional Professional Practice and is asked to serve as the graduate speaker. This year's speaker is Felicity Murphy. Felicity came to our school with her law degree from the University of Utah S.J. Quinney College of Law and her bachelor's degree in English teaching from Brigham Young University. She is currently working as the head of student services at the James E. Faust Law Library at the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. When I asked her why she decided to pursue her MLIS degree, she said it was because she wanted to be considered highly qualified in her position as a law librarian. She realized that her legal education was not sufficient to serve her patrons as effectively as possible. She particularly has valued the variety of classes that the School of Information offers. She said that she made a conscious decision to take both classes that she felt would be enriching for her professionally as well as interesting to her intellectually. She described to me how her coursework has led to several new and interesting opportunities. For example, she expanded an assignment that she did in the Reference Information Services course with Professor Tunin into a co-authored article titled The Reference Assistant, which will be published in 2018 in the Law Library Journal. The article won the American Association of Law Libraries LexisNexis Call for Papers new member division. She was also invited to present the paper at AALL's 2017 National Convention in Austin, Texas. She also took a seminar in genealogy with Professor Colleen Green. She took this course purely out of personal interest in the topic, but she said that it has started her on a passionate journey to discover her roots. In fact, she is leaving on Monday for Ireland with her mother to visit her hometown and to try to track down more information about her family. She has also begun an initiative to introduce genealogists in the Salt Lake City area to the benefits of including a law library and legal documents in their research. Felicity has received many prestigious awards during her time in our program. Not only was she selected for the Ken Haycock Award for Exceptional Professional Practice Award, but she also recently received the Global Impact Scholarship and the Robert Ellett Scholarship, among many other recognitions. As Felicity and all the rest of our iSchool graduates launch the next phase of your careers, I look forward to hearing all about the ways that you will be at the forefront and will be making a difference in your communities all around the world. It is my pleasure to present Felicity Murphy.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I'm excited to be here. I'm a little tired because I woke up to watch a little of the royal wedding because that's exciting. But first, I'd like to thank Dr. Hirsch for her very generous introduction. I know we've all benefited from her example of leadership and professionalism. I count myself lucky to have attended an institution with such a visionary administration and supportive faculty. I know they have all been keenly interested in helping each of us succeed. I want to begin by acknowledging the faculty for their tireless efforts to create and deliver academically rigorous content, and for their responsiveness and patience with us as students. We are all better people because of our association with you. On behalf of our class, I would also like to thank all of the family, friends, and colleagues who have provided us with the support necessary to complete this degree. I know I've been the beneficiary of professional advice, encouraging words, and gentle, and sometimes not so gentle, nudges toward the finish line. We share our accomplishments with you today. I am truly humbled by this opportunity to address you all today. I recently came across an article online that indicated that there's a relatively new term for people like me, people who were born between the years 1977 and 1983. The portmanteau for this microgeneration is Xennial with an X. It's a blending of Generation X and Millennial. As a Zennial, I feel like I've had the best of both worlds. As a child, my brother and I dug an enormous hole down the side of our house, our childhood home, and immediately christened it the Millennium Falcon. And when we were finished digging the hole, we went ahead and called up all of the neighbor kids on their rotary phones and invited them to come down the street and to join our crew. My mom didn't document our ingenuity on Instagram. Instead, she opted for a Kodak moment, one that wouldn't be developed until the entire roll of film had been used. In this low-tech world, imagination was the name of the game. Then in my early 20s, I benefited from an explosion of technological advances. No longer did I have to type my papers on a manual typewriter in tears of frustration, I might add, hoping that there was enough correction tape to white out my inevitable typos. Access to computers became more widely available, and cell phones made staying in touch easier than ever. Although born in an analog age, like other Zennials, I'm generally comfortable when faced with new technology. That being said, as the time to begin my online degree approached, I became increasingly nervous. Could I master the technology necessary to successfully complete my coursework? Would I be able to establish meaningful and lasting professional relationships with my fellow classmates, despite the distance between us? Could I convey my ideas and opinions articulately and clearly in a clearly respectful way? All of my past educational experience to this point had occurred in a traditional classroom setting where the bulk of communication took place face-to-face. Would I struggle to capture the nuances of the subject matter because of the digital format? 3 years later, took me a little longer than some of you guys. 3 years later, I look back at my experience in the iSchool and realize my fears were for naught. My experience was full of enriching lectures, stimulating message board discussions, and academically challenging assessments. Like each of you, I learned a lot. That's not to say that there were not times I didn't struggle to learn how to use a new program or became the victim of a faulty internet connection, which I was completely worried about today. I mean, who knew how hard it would be to create a database to sell a collection of imaginary teacups or handbags? As I've communicated to Dr. Hirsch on several occasions, what I've loved most about my experience in the iSchool is the ongoing practical applications of the things I was learning. I've been lucky enough to have completed my degree while working in my chosen profession. As a law librarian, I was able to regularly apply the skills and theories I learned about in my classes to my job. For instance, my reference services class with Professor Tunin taught me techniques that helped me provide a better reference experience for my patrons. These techniques were also translatable to my interactions with colleagues, law faculty, and law students with whom I work. Working in a library setting, or any information profession for that matter, we will all need to be equipped to communicate effectively with other people. I would posit that if we can view the people we communicate with, regardless of the circumstance, as respected individuals who have innate worth, whose inquiries are important to them, and therefore have value, we can become more helpful and productive service providers. Growing up, my dad had a saying, "Remember who you are." He would call out the phrase after my siblings and me as we ran to catch the school bus, left to play a tennis match, or went out on a date. As a child, I did not give much thought to or really understand what he meant. The expression had just become a part of the fabric of my life. The first time I realized there might be some profound meaning behind the admonition was when I was leaving for my senior prom. After we had finished taking the obligatory photos, and as we rushed out the door, my dad called after me with the familiar phrase, "Felicity Murphy, you remember who you are." I called back with some inaudible reply, excited to get on with the evening's festivities. However, my date stopped short on our front driveway, turned to me with what I can only describe as a look of genuine awe, and said, "Who are you?" It has been too many years for me to remember my response to this boy's question accurately, but I'm positive it was probably awkward, clumsy, and full of embarrassment. In the subsequent years, I've spent substantial time reflecting on the significance of my dad's daily reminder and the implications that remembering who I am would have for my life. I firmly believe that if we know who we are, unique individuals with a wide array of talents and abilities, that we will recognize these traits in those we serve. Aristotle once said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." Regardless of the type of patron we work with, conflict is inevitable. In my experience, I have found that legal reference inquiries can be very personal and highly emotional. Many who contact our reference desk are hoping to get some kind of legal advice. Unfortunately, that's not something we can provide. When I have explained this to patrons and indicated how I could help them, I've been faced with disappointment, tears, anger, and once even a death threat. And my boss is online and she can validate that. When I explain this, However, in instances like this, I've learned that if I take the time to validate the individual and their issue, and that the conversation can continue in a positive way. As we move forward in our professional careers, we will all have, or may have already had, an experience trying to communicate with a difficult person. Made clear by daily news and on social media, social dialogue has become increasingly vitriolic. As librarians and information professionals, we will have the regular opportunity, and I believe the obligation, to encourage and model civil discourse. To do this, we must make a concerted effort to demonstrate respect and kindness to those with whom we engage, regardless of whether or not we agree with them. We can each contribute to creating a culture of inclusion and respect, a culture that frowns on bullying, isolating, and objectifying behaviors. In her recent book, Braving the Wilderness, The Quest for True Belonging and the Courage to Stand Alone, author Brene Brown suggests that when people move in and see others' individuality up close, it is much harder to hate or ridicule them. In a society that's plagued by angry and combative speech, we must seek to speak rationally and courteously, recognizing that those with whom we communicate have intrinsic worth as human beings. I believe that first recognizing this trait in ourselves will translate to an ability to recognize it in others, thereby allowing us to participate in a more considerate and fruitful dialogue. Class of 2018, as we close the door on our experience here at San Jose State University and begin our journey down new roads, in my mind's eye, I imagine Dr. Hirsch and the other amazing faculty of the iSchool calling to us from behind. Remember what we've taught you. Remember what you've learned here. Remember the things that you have accomplished and the relationships that you have forged. Spartans, remember who you are. Congratulations, class of 2018. It has been my pleasure to have been your classmate and associate. Good luck in all of your pursuits. Now let's go make a difference wherever in the world we may be. Thank you.
Congratulations, Felicity, and thank you for that inspiring and wonderful talk. I second everything that you said, and I know that our graduates will continue to go out and make a difference in the communities and in the world and in the profession, so thank you so much. I'd like to now introduce our school's 2018 Convocation speaker, Jim Neal, who is University Librarian Emeritus at Columbia University and is the current president of the American Library Association. Jim Neal holds a bachelor's degree and Bachelor of Arts from Rutgers University, master's degrees in history and in library science from Columbia University, and a certificate in advanced librarianship from Columbia University. He has had an impressive career, serving in top administrative and in leadership roles in major academic universities. He began his career as a social sciences librarian at Queensborough Community College of the City University of New York. Throughout his career, he has lived in 4 different states, advancing his career with each of his moves. He served as the Dean of University Libraries at Indiana University and Johns Hopkins University. And after serving in these roles, he served for more than a decade as the Vice President for Information Services and University Librarian at Columbia University, where he provided leadership for university academic computing and a system of 22 libraries. Throughout his career, he has been a thoughtful, influential, and inspiring leader, consultant, presenter, and author, focusing on a variety of important areas, including advocacy, information policy, professional leadership development, intellectual property, scholarly communication, digital libraries, and library cooperation. He has worked tirelessly in professional service roles as well. He is currently president of the American Library Association, where he has helped navigate the association through an important period of transition, while also moving the field forward with new initiatives, such as the ALA Policy Corps, which aims to expand the library and information profession's ability to advocate on key policy issues on behalf of the library community. Prior to serving as ALA president, he served on ALA Council, on ALA Executive Board, as ALA Treasurer, as well as serving in numerous other important roles, such as a member of the OCLC Board of Trustees, treasurer of the Freedom to Read Foundation, and president of the Association of Research Libraries. He has received numerous recognitions for his distinguished service and contributions to the library and information profession. Just some recent honors include the Freedom to Read Foundation Roll of Honor Award, the American Library Association Joseph W. Lippincott Award, and the International Federation of Library Associations Scroll of Appreciation. Jim Neal is an innovative thinker and a creative leader who is always willing to try new things and adapt to changing environments, all important characteristics of successful information professionals today. I'm very excited that Jim Neal is here to share his thoughts with our graduates today who are just launching their new careers in the library and information science field. It is my great honor to introduce Jim Neal.
Thank you, Dr. Hirsch. It is an honor and privilege to participate in this San Jose State University School of Information Convocation ceremony. I recall the wonderful Mel Brooks film, History of the World, Part 1. There is a great scene when Brooks, as Moses, is coming down the mountain carrying 3 large stone tablets. Children of Israel, I have 15. He suddenly trips, and one of the tablets crashes to the ground. He picks himself up and proceeds down the mountain. Children of Israel, I have 10 commandments. I think we all applaud the loss of those 5 additional rules, but allow me to provide my interpretation of those 5 lost suggestions as you proceed from San Jose State to take up your professional lives. First, value libraries and the information services we provide. Sometimes when we focus on our encounters with libraries throughout our lives, we might remember the stately buildings, the floor of books, the intimidating catalog, the hushed setting, the helpful library staff, and I hope the joy and freedom those libraries provided. These elements in some ways are still part of the library scene, what I call the Trompe-l'oeil library. But the characteristics which have defined library are being replaced by a new vision of information services. Libraries and you are at the center of a revolution in global learning, information technology, electronic scholarship, and community transformation. We are pillars in our communities, enabling success, productivity, innovation, and solutions. The battle between the past and the future, between the traditional and the innovative, between technology as a means and technology as a transforming end, is being played out in dramatic ways in our libraries. I appreciate a story about the British eccentric Quentin Crisp, who is talking to an audience in Northern Ireland, and he tells them that he is an atheist. At the end of his presentation, a woman in the audience stands up and asks, "But Mr. Crisp, is it the God of the Catholics or the God of the Protestants in whom you don't believe?" Second, preserve our freedoms. We are constantly facing new challenges to our liberties, the freedom from and the freedom to. What Alexander Pope defined as the ability to see what friends and read what books I please. We are constantly facing new threats to the celebration of knowledge, what Toffler described as the most democratic source of power. and what former Librarian of Congress Daniel Borstein saw as never used up, for knowledge increases by its diffusion and grows by its dispersion. Community standards, family values, national security, political correctness, too often become excuses for censorship and rationales to violate our privacy. So-called progress in technology too often becomes the basis for purging information, blocking access, monitoring our behavior, and advancing one point of view. Every snowflake in an avalanche pleads not guilty. Don't let it happen. Third, embrace your human objectives. Think about your success so that things turn out well and you attain your desired goals. Focus on your happiness, what defines for you well-being and contentment. Be productive and achieve the results and benefits that you want. Advance your personal progress, your forward movement and betterment. Develop relationships, personal connections, and attachments. Have great experiences, rich participation in your profession and in your community. Seek a professional voice, a range of activities that extend you beyond your job. Take risks, important risks, but remember always that it may be the early bird that gets the worm, but it is the second mouse that gets the cheese. Have an impact, a significant effect, and stay in touch with each other and with your university. When Albert Einstein came to North America, he did not like to travel by plane and often took the train. On one trip, the young man collecting the tickets comes to Einstein's cabin. Einstein looks in his pockets and in his briefcase, and the young man recognizes who this is and says, "Don't worry, Mr. Einstein, you don't need to find your ticket." But Einstein persists, and he lifts up his seat, and he crawls on the floor, and again the young man says, "Please, you don't need to find your ticket, Mr. Einstein." Einstein stands up, looks the young man in the eye, and says, "It is no longer a matter of whether I can find my ticket. It is a matter of where I am going." Think more about where you are going and less about finding your ticket. Fourth, advance the revolution. David Close, in his book, The Meaning of Revolution, notes that the essential feel of revolution derives from its cataclysmic quality. It destroys people's security and unsettles their convictions. Thomas Kuhn, in The Structure of Scientific Revolutions, notes that the transition from a paradigm in crisis to a new one, from which a new tradition can emerge, is far from a cumulative process. There are critical tipping points. And Karl Marx, in his theory of knowledge, his theory of epistemology, emphasizes that ideas do not exist on their own, and they are only real when they are turned into action. He points to a pot of water over a flame. We know intellectually that the temperature of that water is rising, but only when it reaches a critical point, the boiling point. When the liquid changes to gas, does a true transformation take place. It is the move from quantitative to qualitative change that Marx defined as revolution. A Japanese proverb perhaps says it best. Vision without action remains a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. Yes, we feel anxious. As McLuhan observes, our age of anxiety is in great part the result of trying to do today's jobs with yesterday's tools. Yes, we feel disrupted. As Clayton Christensen notes, one of the litmus tests is that a disruptive technology enables a larger population of less skilled people to do things that historically only an expert could. And yes, things are chaotic. But as advanced in the education of Henry Adams, chaos often breeds life, while order breeds habit. Please have lives full of life. And lastly, and fifth, care about each other. St. Ignatius of Loyola spoke of the selfless friend, to give and not to count the cost, to fight and not to heal the wound, to toil and not to seek for rest, to labor and not to ask for reward. Ken Kesey, who you recall is the author of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, once commented in an interview, "You can count the seeds in the apple, but you cannot count the apples in the seed." Today, we celebrate the planting of your accomplishment to our collective betterment. You will grow and you will flower as you build professional and personal lives of distinction and service. The fruits of your labor will inspire us. I applaud with enthusiasm and awe what you have accomplished here at San Jose State. Poet R.L. Sharp perhaps said it best. Each is given a bag of tools, a shapeless mass, and a book of rules, and each must make, ere life is flown, a stumbling block or a stepping stone. Make your years and your dollars that you have invested at San Jose State your stepping stone to great things. Bernard Shaw, the Irish playwright, was opening a new play in London. He sent a letter to Winston Churchill. "Dear Mr. Churchill, my new play in London is opening up and I'd send you 2 tickets to the opening night's performance. 1 ticket is for you, Mr. Churchill, and 1 is for a friend, if you have one." Well, Churchill quickly replied. He said, "Unfortunately, Mr. Shaw, I have another commitment that evening, and I won't be able to attend the opening night performance of your play, but I would be very appreciative if you sent me 2 tickets to the second night's performance, if there is one. Library of the future, will there be one? Because of your professional leadership and recruitment and commitment, we will not only survive, but we will thrive." Finally, there is an African proverb which speaks about 2 kinds of people in the world. First, there are the mountain people, who no matter how closely they come together, they just stand side by side. And second, there are the river people, who no matter how far apart they may be, no matter how far apart they were when they started out, they always eventually flow together. Today, with your graduation, you join the river people of San Jose State University and the professional community of library and information service. With congratulations and a virtual standing ovation, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Jim. We really appreciate your comments, and I know that our graduates really appreciated hearing your good words of wisdom, and I appreciate you joining us today. So I opened today's ceremony by reminding us that the word convocation means a calling together. Another word for today's ceremony is commencement, which means beginning. Today represents your new beginning as a graduate of our school's programs and the beginning of what we hope will be a very fulfilling and meaningful career in the field of library, information, and archival professions. Please let our school know when you land that job after graduation and continue to stay in touch with us in the future as you progress through your career. I look forward to hearing of your accomplishments and contributions in the future. I hope you will share your accomplishments with us on the Alumni Career Spotlight page, or participate in iSchool Connects, and come to our school's receptions at professional association conferences like at ALA Annual, where I will be on June 23rd in New Orleans. And also we have many other events throughout the year. We are concluding this convocation with a special video that your fellow iSchool students have put together, highlighting the many faces and personalities of the class of 2018. The video is about 15 minutes long. Please note that this video will conclude the convocation. Congratulations again, and we wish you the very, very best.